with your forecast for 1/2/2022, the first week of January, the first week of 2022. And it begins with a new moon. Really, we begin the new year with a new moon in Capricorn. New moon in Capricorn, always a time when we're looking at things at a collective level. We're thinking about where we've come thus far and where we're going. We're looking at things like government and institutions. We're looking at businesses and things like that. The things that we do collectively, as institutions. The next month we'll deal with Aquarius and some of our ideals and big picture stuff. But here we're dealing with something a little bit more on the earthly plane, the earthy plane. Now, this new moon is closely trying to Uranus. And so we have this Uranian energy that runs through. And that suggests that we can find new ways forward. There are new paths to be taken. And I think, collectively, let's hope something like that can happen. Individually, too. While some of us will undoubtedly get stuck spinning our wheels, a lot of us are going to be able to find new ways to do things, new ways forward. I would say the area of career is something that will have a great deal of flexibility is implied, if you can but take advantage of it, but figure out how to take advantage of it. And what you're doing in the world, what you're known for. You can make changes. And this is a trine. It's the planet Uranus, sudden changes and all that, but it is also a trine, which suggests that, yeah, there's innovation and there's changes and there's things that are happening rapidly, but it's not out of control. It's a steerable kind of energy. And that's something that is, it's a pretty good way to start the year. That energy will continue, and I think, well, I know it will grow throughout the week as the moon waxes. I think the early part of the week, Monday, Tuesday, people getting back after holidays, back to school, back to work type of thing. And it's going to feel that kind of, you're just getting back into things and the moon is just waxing. Still, there's a freshness about it and maybe a little bit of excitement, a little bit of internal, hey, maybe something can happen here. Probably around the time that we get to midweek. Usually if you want to gauge the new moon and when it becomes a little bit more active, it's usually when you can see the moon in the sky in the evening. Probably Wednesday, maybe Tuesday, I don't know. But astrologically, if we look at the moon signs, I would guess it would be from Tuesday onwards that we'll really feel the waxing energy of the new moon. So take that at, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday time, and, sort of think about your options. And then you start to make a little bit in the way of a kind of, I wouldn't even say plan, but you do a little research. You start to figure out how you could put things into place. Do something concrete. Remember this, well, you should always do something concrete with the new moon, but this new moon's in Capricorn. And even if the moon has gone on to Aquarius, you want to, do something concrete, make a few phone calls, do a little bit of research, go online, reach out to some people. That's midweek, particularly, I think, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, keep going with it. The moon's in Pisces, well, Friday, but it doesn't really matter all that much. So it's this waxing energy. You take advantage of it. Think about it as a fresh start. You're not really doing much until we approach midweek. Don't do nothing, do something, but you don't have to do that much until we get to about midweek, and then start doing stuff. Really, next week is the big active week to take advantage of this lunation. This is, this new moon really starts working as we get into next weekend and beyond, as we start waxing towards the full moon. But this week has still got plenty of opportunities. It may be kind of a little bit of a slow start, but it's a start and it's a good one. Now, in terms of relationship, we have some interesting stuff that kicks in, I would say, right around Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We have Venus meeting with the partnership asteroid, Juno. Juno is Jupiter's wife, and so signifies, firm partnerships. Venus retrograde is conjuncting Juno, and so is starting to bring together the principle of relating and what we want and what we value with relationships in a more formal sense. This is all happening in Capricorn, right? So we're bringing this together. It's sort of what you want, what you've got can kind of get on the same page. It's an opportunity if you've got something, and Juno, whereas Venus speaks to energy that we always have, we always have a relating principle. We pretty much always have something that we're looking, someone or something that we're looking for, that we want to have, and so on. It's not that dependent on there being someone. Juno is a little bit more dependent on there being somebody there that you would be connecting with. So if you're in a relationship or about to be in a relationship or looking for a relationship with someone particular, this is a pretty good aspect. However, Venus is retrograde, and so it will probably take some time until Venus, this is all a big model of what's happening, I'm doing with my hands, until Venus stations at the end of January and then moves forward and catches up with Juno on the other side of things, probably sometime late February or March. So the point here is that you get some information about what's happening in your relationship, but you don't really get the final answer for another 6-8 weeks or so. So it's an important installment. Now, Neptune is in the picture as well. Neptune is in this picture as well. And that kind of puts things into soft focus. It gives a sort of dreamy feeling to things that is, hopefully pleasant, hopefully pleasant. And it implies the sense of being a little bit more flexible, being a little bit more creative, and having, having a little sense of idealism around things, which is, it's not necessarily realistic, but it could be nice. So even if you don't get your final answer, even if you don't know exactly what is happening with a relationship, it should feel kind of nice. It is also true that the moon waxing in Pisces on the weekend ought to be relatively fun for those who are going out. Well, who's going out nowadays, huh? Nah, you're not going out. Well, if you're staying in and watching a movie, it's a really nice kind of astrological weather. So that's how we begin 2022. In terms of career and practical matters, in terms of the collective, we get going and we accelerate pretty quickly. Look for new options, look for new ways of doing things, try to break out of routines, or, ease out of routines, because we have a trine here. And then in terms of relationships, well, it's a good opportunity. We can sort of see what's going on, or maybe we don't really see what's going on just yet, but, what are you going to do? And then, either way, you can have a nice time on the weekend, even if it is just you and a movie and a book. I'll see you next week.